So, Spokes, maybe you can start by giving us just a summary of what has been decided by the courts today.
Okay, at the moment we are still trying to verify the facts. There are about 3 stories that are coming out. The first one is that he might appear in this court later at around 11. The other one is that he's been taken to the central. And the other one is that there is a move to take him to Masvingo because the whole thing occurred in Bikita. So there is an option that he might go to Masvingo. So at the moment, we are still following with the lawyers to clarify exactly because it seems to be a very fluid situation.
Okay, and then how?
As a party, there seems to be a discord in the way in which you are reacting to Sikhala's charges and utterances. What's the party's view on this issue?
I think the party is very clear that when you take the political context, since last year, there is a dispute in terms of the legitimacy, especially around the presidential election results. We do not recognize them. So that context is very important. And even in the Congress that we recently held, we reaffirmed our position that we do not recognize the legitimacy of ED because the results that were declared by SEC, according to our understanding, they were manipulated. So when we talk about legitimacy, we are concerned about the fact that there is political instability caused by the outcome of the election last year. As an MDC, we have resolved that we need to engage beyond the current government setup because we are clear that the current political setup in Zimbabwe is not enough to give the impetus for us to go forward in terms of the economy. So if you look at the Congress resolution, it's mandating the leadership to focus on engaging different stakeholders, engaging political parties for a national process, a mechanism that is going to allow us to go beyond this current government setup. So that is where we are as a party. And in terms of what Honorable Sikhala said, he clearly explained later that he didn't mean anything military or violent or whatever, but he meant that the current setup as it stands is not something that we accept as a party. So in that context, we are definitely in tandem. There is no confusion about our position. As an MDC, we do not recognize the presidents of ED.
And then we are just hearing that the Youth Assembly Secretary General, Ostalo Sibanda, has also been called or has been arrested. He's at Central Police Station. Any news on that?
I will need to verify that one. I don't think he's been arrested, but I can double check, maybe come back to you later.
Okay. And then have you talked to Job Sikhala? How is he?
I spoke to him, was it yesterday morning? Yeah, obviously he's shaken, but as usual he's confident about, he's a man who is passionate, a man who is patriotic, a man who is highly expressive. So hopefully this process will not weaken him, but to strengthen his resolve. Because he's got one dream, to have a new Zimbabwe, a Zimbabwe that is fully democratic, a Zimbabwe that is economically prosperous and socially viable. So like every one of us, he's not happy with the situation as it is today. And as a party, we see what's happening on the ground. We are not detached from the reality. Our people are suffering. The current political establishment has dismally failed to manage our economy. And unless and until we have this process of engaging all the different stakeholders to come up with a national process of agreement in terms of the political direction of the party, we are not going to go anywhere. So we need to resolve the political impasse, and then it will open opportunities for the economy. We know that in 1979 we had to go to Lancaster. We know that in 1987 we had to do a unit accord. In 2009 we had a global political agreement. That's how our economy responds. As long as there is political confusion, our economy suffers. So let's resolve the political crisis first.
If you're in tandem with, as a party, with what Sikhala said, then what was the reasoning behind the statement that was released by your deputy?
Yes, the statement was to clarify and emphasize the position of the party because there was a little bit of confusion in the social media about whether the party is now pushing for a military overthrow of the government or a violent overthrow. So it was meant to clarify that the party is still clear that we want this political establishment to be changed, but we are not saying let's do it through violence or through military options, but we are saying that the constitution of this country is robust enough. The Bill of Rights allows us. We've got freedom of association, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly. So the constitution of this country allows us to go into some form of political process to ensure that there is change in this country. So as MDC, we are very clear on that one. There is no confusion about our position.
And then after the statement, I'm sure you have been following comments on social media. Do you think the statement has divided the support base of Nelson Chamisa?
I think the comment cannot divide the party. The party divides ideologically. In terms of what's happening right now, it's a question of clarifying issues like I'm trying to do now. But the party is united as ever. We have just come from a congress. There is no faction. I saw some people talking about factions. There's not even one faction in the party. Factions don't exist in the MDC. Maybe they might exist in another party, but we've just come from a congress. We are very united. We are clear and articulate. And as a leadership, we are going to meet soon and we'll be discussing the actual process going forward. So I don't see any basis for alleging that the party is confused or divided. Social media cannot be used to measure the position of the party. The party has got proper structures, and if you go to the structures of the party and see the level of unity, you'll be very impressed. So we cannot use social media because those people cannot assume that they are an organized structure of the party. This is a fully fledged organization that has got structures. So if you talk to the structure leaders, they are very clear on their position. So let's not use the social media to judge the unity of the party.
Thank you, Spokes.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll touch this later. Those who want Ndebele or Shona, then we can talk aside.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah. I will try Shona, but but Ndebele is easier. Those who want Ndebele or Shona, okwamanje akukacaci ukuthi indaba lakhuluma ngaphi sesiliyamukela imbiko efika izinto emithathu engacaciyo eyokuqala ukuthi mhlawumbe uzobuya lapha ngama-11 e-Rotten Row omnye umbiko ukuthi mhlawumbe usahanjiswa ngale central owesithathu uthi mhlawumbe uzahanjiswa eMashingo ngoba icala leli kuthiwa lenzela ngaphi eBikita kuseMashingo. So akukacaci ukuthi ni kahle kahle. So sisakhuluma lamagqwetha basibaza sichazela ukuthi ni kuqina sokuthweni ngabaphathi bendaba yakhona.
Abanye bathi kuloko ngazisala ukubandla le-MDC ngendlela ye-statement elike lazikhipha lapha lamazwe esiwezizwe ukuthi hayi ibandla liyamsekela umnumzana Sikhala unthi ngalokho.
Ibandla liyamsekela umnumzana umhlonitshwa Sikhala, nguye vice chairman wethu. Siyamsekela yikho sibuyile ecourt namhla. Okuqathekileyo ukuthi ni umbiko waphuma lapha na awuzama ukuthi ni uchaze ngoba wasungasaphumi kuhle ku social media ukuthi thina simi ngaphi njengenhlanganiso mawukhunya ngodlame ngodlakeni. So thina njengenhlanganiso besizama ukuthi sichaze khonokho. Kodwa njenge MDC siyavumelana ukuthi uhulumende okhona manje ikakhulu ubukhokheli buka umongameli uMnangagwa asibamukeli. Sicabanga ukuthi impumela yakhetho yonyaka omdlulileyo ayihambanga kuhle ayikhuluma iqiniso. So thina njenge-MDC asikwamukela ubukhokheli bukaMnangagwa. So yindaba eqhathekileyo and iCongress esibelayo ivumile ukuthi njengezikhokhelo kumele siphumele uhlelo lokuthi singamukeli uhulumende okhona senzele ukuthi amaZimbabwe sisebenzela sonke ukuthi kuphume indlela entsha yokusebenzela ndawonye njengamaZimbabwe ngoba uhulumende okhona lo khokhelwa ngoMnangagwa thina njenge-MDC asimamukelanga since last year.
Shona.
Wait. You know, this thing is very heavy, man.
Yeah, I don't know.